Hello again, friends and loyal Wolfpack members. Chaos here, and welcome back to Into the Black. This series we go and just explore the universe of Elite Dangerous. And right now we are on our way to a very interesting part of space. We'll go and have a look at it in just a moment as soon as we have scanned here. As you can see, we're currently on our way to the Trifid Nebula. Now, it's been a good long while since the last time I was here. In fact, it's getting on for nearly 2 years now. So this is kind of insane. And right now, we've just jumped into a system. We're going to go have a look if there's anything interesting. Not massively speaking. And everything in here, well, apart from a few things, have already been scanned. I mean, we could go and scan these things here. Let's actually go and have a look, see how far that is away. 1,600 light seconds. So that's not terribly far. So let's actually go and give this a scan. Most likely, this is going to end up being just an ice world or a rocky ice world or something along those lines. But the thing is it's not been scanned before. We know this by the fact that it hasn't got a... Where are we? It hasn't got a first discovered by tag, as you can see there. Some of these have, a lot of them haven't. So we can go and scan a bunch of things. I mean, asteroid clusters like these are never going to have discovered by. It's usually the stars, and after that it's usually everything else beyond that. But I want to go and get my name on a few things close to the nebula. Then I gotta say my name. This is Commander Mal Reynolds. So let's go and see. Well, we're basically just going to go and quickly go and scan this. Now, I'm not quite sure how close we're going to have to get in order to go and start the scan off. Because let's not forget, we are only exploring in a hauler. And a lot of people are always wondering and asking, Chaos, why are you going exploring in a hauler? You've got money on your account to buy like 10 anacondas or something. So why are you going out in this ship? Well, there's a reason, and I wanted to go and show that it is possible to go and explore without a big expensive ship. That's why we went with this, because this is like one of the first early ships that you can go exploring in. I mean, if you want to get technical about it, you can actually go out exploring in a Sidewinder, but you're kind of limited a little bit by what you can put in your ship. You are here as well because we don't have an auto field maintenance unit, and we don't have a, there we go, ice body, and we don't have an SRV bay. So we can land on planets because we do have the Horizons expansion, but we don't have the ability to actually drive around. Hopefully we're going to be getting that after we go and finish with this particular exploration trip. Because as I've stated previously, the actual plan of this trip is to be out in the hauler, to go and earn enough money through exploration, to then go and sell back to either Felicity Farseer or Alvida Martuk to go and level up with her, hopefully to get all the way to grade 5. And then we can actually go and start looking for materials in order to go and upgrade our ships. Well, I say that, we're after just looking to get a downback explorer after this. And I've just realised that I need to scan the star here. So let's get a little ways out, let's throttle back, turn back in. Right, there's the corona. We'll scan the star because I was not thinking about what we're doing. And here we go. A bunch of stars all already discovered. So we've got what looks like an M class. Yes, I'm right. An L class and a T class. So both of these two are too cold to scoop from. The M class is actually the coldest of all the star classes that is scoopable. So we've got it scanned. Let's go and head on, because I don't know how many jumps we've got left now. We have 6 jumps to reach the nebula. So we're going to keep going. I mean, there's not a lot out here at the moment that is very interesting. I mean, let's go and have a look at our jump range. Our jump range is 27.5 light years. Now, there's several ways of going about and doing exploration. There's the doing exploration for exploration's sake, actually just wanting to go out there and seeing things that nobody else has seen. Or there is the going out and exploring because you want to get exploration rank. I started off as wanting to just go and explore things, and then towards the end I just wanted to go and get my explorer rank up. But I've done that on my main account now, so I am now elite in exploration. Oh, look at that. A star there we could go and get our name on, and a bunch of these are all scanned already. But these ones aren't, so as soon as we're finished with that, there we go. Let's go and scan these planets. I mean, if they look interesting from space, we'll actually potentially go down and have a look. But these are all landable planets. The main issue is, though, is that they aren't really looking too interesting. They're mainly going to be rocky worlds. I doubt we're going to be finding anything that is metal rich around here, because everything looks a bit too chalky coloured to be metal rich. Yeah, no, none of those look metal rich. This system just really does not look like it has the potential to be metal rich. But I've got a question now. How far away is the second star? It's 81,000 light seconds. How do I know this? Is because the stars are usually set a little bit further over to the left than everything else. So that's definitely the star, and also you can tell because it's a big jump in distance between the final planet here and the actual star. Wow, and these are fairly small planets as well. 40 light seconds until we actually started scanning. Anything around about 1 Earth mass should start scanning from around about 80-ish light seconds. Potentially. Maybe give or take a bit. Not sure. But let's see. Deep Space Anarchy. Let's go for... Yeah, no. Not surprised it's Anarchy. But yeah, Icy Body. Yeah, not really worth it all that much. The amount of time it'd take to scan them would get such little return out of it. I really just want to get to where I'm going right now. I can see our destination right there in the distance. So let's spool up the engines for another jump again. We are only 5 jumps out. You know, I always forget how many jumps I've got to go. And yes, I'm going off on a tangent once more, but that if you've been here any great length of time, you should know by now that that's all I'm about. I'm Mr. Tangent. Yes, Tangent is my middle name. It's Chaos Tangent Wolf. And I'm going off on yet another tangent. Just furthermore goes to prove my point. But yes, tell you what, I'm actually wondering whether or not this kind of exploration is going to be viable in the future. Because we're having such a massive stirrings happening about the Thargoids at the moment. So are we going to be seeing our future Thargoid insect overlords actually flying around in the middle of standard space? According to Frontier, we're actually not going to be seeing that to begin with. What's going to be happening is when the Thargoids first come in 2.4, they're only going to be confined to certain parts of space. So I am really curious to find out how the game is going to be changing once we have the actual alien race properly in the game. Because we have them in at the moment, but it's kind of all very limited. Taking a look in this system, we can see that everything's all been discovered before. Virtually everything by one person, so that's not too bad. And the thing is, the galaxy itself has actually changed. And actually, the galaxy of Elite Dangerous has changed more recently as well. Not so much in so far as we had like aliens coming in, although you could technically call them that. We've actually had a big influx of new commanders coming in on the PlayStation 4. So I'm going to be seeing a lot of newer people coming through to the channel, which is awesome. So I'm going to have to keep reminding myself that there are going to be newer commanders here. I have to kind of make sure that what I'm saying is digestible for that. Because right now you can see it's actually just fuel scooping. We don't want to get too close to the star, because if we do, we're going to hit the exclusion zone, fall out and start overheating. We don't want that. And this system, again, it doesn't seem all that particularly interesting. It's just one of the standard systems, but it's not surprising really, because the vast majority of these star systems are going to be kind of not very particularly interesting, because let's be honest, there's over 400 billion, yeah, with a B, star systems in Elite Dangerous. And as a community, in the last 2 and a bit years, we've only discovered less than 1% of them. So yeah, just let that sink in. For 2 years, we've been out exploring. We've had people like me and Obsidian Ant out in the middle of nowhere, just doing lots of charting. And there's some guys that have actually been out there in the black in a Sidewinder since the game has launched. Whether they're still going, I don't know. But it's fascinating. I wonder how much cartographic data that guy must have if he's still been out there. Ooh, and look at that. We have, I think this is an A-class star. Let's find out. I do think this is an A-class. Let's see. Yes, A-class star. So, ooh, look at these. What looks like it could be a water world, but I suspect it's actually a high metal content. Listening to it, yeah, that's a high metal content world. So these are all going to be high metal contents. They may be terraformable. So let's actually go and scan them and see what we're going to get, because this looks like an interesting system. I mean, we can't go and land on anything because everything here actually has an atmosphere. And as it currently stands, we're not able to actually land on anything which has an atmosphere. We're kind of limited to atmosphere-less worlds. Which is fine, because eventually we are going to be getting atmospheric landings. But that's not going to be for a little while yet, I don't suppose. I mean, we may end up with being able to land on like the barrenish rocky worlds that we can at the moment, but they actually have an atmosphere. Now, in that case, all that is really going to be is a different type of flight mechanic, because we're going to be having to take aerodynamics into account. And potentially have to go through the re-entry effects, which I think are going to be absolutely amazing. Because I really want to see, well, basically just go to land on a planet and see the re-entry effects, like see the plasma flying around the ship. Now let's see. Here we go. Pristine reserves, high metal, yeah, okay. Now what I'm expecting is that one's going to be terraformable, but we'll see. We'll go and scan all of them just for the sake of this. Now I remember the first time I ever came out on a proper exploration trip, there was not the ability to actually go into the galaxy, like a system map even, and actually target planets. That wasn't possible. What you had to do is come in here, work out how far they were away from their parent star, go back into the galactic plane, fly up above the galactic plane, so to speak, relatively speaking, so that you could see all the orbital lines below you, and actually count out all the orbital lines. It was ridiculous. So if you really want, if you saw like what looked like an Earth-like world, that's what you had to do in order to go and find it. Thankfully, things these days are a little bit easier. Uh-oh, sounds like we're getting caught in the gravity. Let's bleed off a little bit of speed. Nose back up again. There we go. So we're getting a bit too close. We were getting basically drawn in by the gravity, which was then mixing with our forward momentum and pulling us just way too fast towards. We would have ended up with a gravitational slingshot then and ended up having to do a loop of shame. Don't want that. So we just bleed off some speed like we did. And we're good. Now, is this one terraformable? No, it isn't. If it was, it'd say around about there. So let's go and see if I'm correct. I do believe this one should be terraformable by the look of it. Now, I really would love to be able to go and land on a high metal content world. Even if it's just like virtually barren, but it's still terraformable. Imagine having able to land on like a barrenish kind of world that has water. That'd be awesome. Just imagine the kind of screenshots you could take with that and the vistas. That'd be amazing. But we're not going to have that for a while. But the thing that I really want to see in the future of Elite is gas giants. Actually being able to go and fly through the cloud layer in gas giants. go and scoop up whatever gases and stuff that are in there, farm that kind of thing, and maybe find some kind of life forms there. That'd be awesome. Like, imagine trying to find this massive bloody Leviathan kind of life form flying around in the clouds of a gas giant. That'd be terrifying. But again, I reckon all these things are going to be a long way off, even if we're going to get them at all. Well, we're definitely going to get the planet types, but Leviathan flying around things, that's another issue. It'd be awesome, but I can't say as to whether or not we're going to get this, because despite me being a guy that makes videos on Elite, that's literally all I am, is I'm just a guy that makes videos. I don't know anything extra than anybody else. And again, I am rambling off on a different tangent. So, yeah, okay. Now I just realised we're actually travelling a little bit slower than I thought, because I thought we were a bit closer to this than we actually were. Because this is a good ways out. Now, with the A-class stars, the Goldilocks zone is going to be a good distance further out. And there's our destination in the distance. How many more jumps have we got? One more jump. Okay, we're one jump outside the nebula. So that is epic. And we're already getting some really amazing views here. Look at that, we're right on the doorstep. Wow. And we're going to be getting much... Here we go. So that seems like it's about 1 Earth mass now. Maybe a bit larger. So let's finish the scan, and then we'll go and get a closer look at the planet. So again, it's another high metal content world, but am I right? And I am right. It is it is not high metal. It is terraformable. I'm right. I'm awesome. So yeah, that is amazing. So what have we got? We have a volcanism, silicate magma. Atmosphere type is carbon dioxide. So mostly carbon dioxide, bit of sulfur dioxide, bit of nitrogen. Yeah. Shouldn't take too much to actually terraform that for human habitation. But let's go and get a closer look at our brand newly, well, not exactly newly discovered, but our newly found terraformable world. And there we can see it with the nebula in the background. Just look at that. You can tell that it's basically just a brown high metal content world, but it's got a blue shimmer of an atmosphere over it. Such a simple world, and yet it is so kind of magnificent in its simplicity, really. I mean, we can see that it's got, well, just different parts of land, volcanoes. We can see the volcanoes on there. So that is great. We can see some mountain ranges, potentially what looks like maybe lakes, but I seriously doubt it. But anyway, let's move on from this little world. Now what we're going to go and do is we are going to go and have a look at this one as well. Now how far is this out? This is 2000 light seconds out, so this is a good little distance. And looking at the map, it looks like it may be potentially... It's potentially still within the terraformable zone or the Goldilocks zone, but I doubt it, and this one is going to be way too far out. So we'll give it a look. If it's terraformable, awesome source even. But if it's not, then no big problems. If it's not terraformable, we'll know that the one further out isn't, so we won't need to go and have a look at it. And here we are, closing in on the second planet. Well, I say second planet, but our second hope for a terraformable world. Now, to be perfectly honest, I'm not convinced that this one is actually going to be terraformable. Let's actually go and see. There we go. Yet again another high metal, so that's not bad. Right, get out of the way. There we go. No, it is not terraformable. So I'm not going to worry about the last world here then. So let's do a quick little flyby. Hello there. Does it look a little bit like a reverse profiterole almost? Yeah, I'm a little bit hungry for desserts right now. Unfortunately, not a candidate for terraformable life, but oh well. I'm not overly worried. What we're doing now is we're going to go and jump into the Trifid. Well, is it the Trifid Nebula? I think it is. Yes. Yeah, Trifid Nebula. That's what we're going to go and have a look at. You know, for a second I actually forgot the name of the nebula that we're actually jumping into. So yes, the Trifid Nebula. This is the second time I've been here. It's been a long, long time since I was here last time. And here we go. Let's go and fuel scoop and scan the star. Whilst we go and set out a pulse. Have a look in here, and yeah, this particular system doesn't seem all that particularly interesting. But what we want to go and do is, soon as we have finished scanning the star, just like that, turn around and fly away from the star. Why are we doing this? Well, we're getting away from the light pollution. Because right now we can't really see much. As you can see... Oops, wrong buttons. There we go. You can see that it's virtually all black. We can see a little bit of colour over to that side. But the further we get away from the star, as you can see, we're starting to see more and more colour. Look at that. We are in purple space. So this is amazing. In fact, let's actually go and start having a look at how vivid that is. Isn't that amazing? I mean, just look at that. This is absolutely spectacular. A very, very different nebula to the Lagoon Nebula that we were in so few episodes ago. This is just a completely different area of space, different look, a different feel. This is amazing. I really do love coming out to these nebulas. The nebulas, whatever you want to call them. And I just look at that. But anyway, I think that's about it for this video. I do hope you guys have enjoyed it. So like the video if you've liked it, dislike it if you didn't. Neither of those good enough for you, that's what the comments are for. And I've been Commander Chaos Wolf from Saitek. Oh, sorry. You can also come and join our community on Facebook or in Aura. Links are going to be in the video description. I've been Commander Chaos Wolf from Sci-Fi Gaming. You guys, as always, have been epic. I will see you soon. Until next time, my fellow commanders, keep flying and stay shiny.